Good morning, staff and students of P12. Together we are here to show our respect and commemorate our past, present and fallen soldiers of the ANZAC Day. On Sunday we're not present at school, so we have put together a 7-minute clip. Please show your respects. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone in the Carwatha community. Welcome to our ANZAC Day ceremony. Firstly, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the Boonwurrung land we are on and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay respect to the elders past, present and emerging. Along with Australians everywhere, we gather to remember those who have served to defend Australia in all wars and conflicts. We do this because this is the anniversary of the day when Australia and New Zealand soldiers land on the beach at Gallipoli in Turkey on 25th April 1915. This was the first major military campaign for soldiers from Australia and New Zealand. Before dawn on 25th April 1915, the first soldiers of the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps landed on the shores of the Gallipoli Peninsula. The men were part of the British and French-led invasion. The Allies' mission was to destroy Turkish guns that were preventing naval ships from reaching and bombarding the Turkish capital Constantinople. If they succeed, Turkey might be forced out of the war and Germany would lose an important ally.
Some 2,000 Australians were killed or wounded on the 25th of April. It was a day of confusion and fear. One soldier called it a day of sorrow, as he remembered the dead and the wounded. At ANZAC Cove, the Australians were the first to land. The New Zealanders followed later in the day. They had advanced about a mile in some places, less in others, but they could go no further. For the next 8 months, the campaign was stalemate. In December, the ANZACs were evacuated. By then, about 8,700 Australians and almost 2,700 New Zealanders had been killed. There were some of at least 130,000 soldiers on both sides who lost their lives at Gallipoli. ANZAC Day has been one of the most important dates in the Australian calendar since 1916. At first, it gave people a chance to honour the original ANZACs, the Australian and New Zealanders who fought in Gallipoli. Then it became a day for those who had served in the First World War, with Australians experiencing the Second World War and wars, conflicts and peacekeeping operations that had followed. ANZAC Day has become an occasion to honour all those who have worn our country's uniform in service.
2021 also marks the century anniversary of the Royal Australian Air Force, one of the first air forces in the world. Today, we reflect on the service. We recognise more than 100,000 Australian service men and women who have lost their lives in military operations carried out in the country's name, including many Indigenous Australians who served despite not being counted as citizens until 1967. We honour the values that have been interested in the original ANZACs: loyalty, selflessness, courage, and the ways in which later generations have measured their own achievements against those of the soldiers who fought on Gallipoli. Now I would like to introduce Andre, who will read a short poem.
At the going down of the sun, I crouched in a shallow trench on the hell of exposed beaches, steeply rising foothills bare of cover, a landscape pockmarked with the war's inevitable litter, piles of stores, equipment, ammunition, and the weird contortions of death sculptured in Australian flesh. I saw the going down of the sun on the first ANZAC Day, in the chaotic maelstrom of Australia's blooding. I fought in the frozen mud of Somme, in a blazing destroyer exploded on the North Sea. I fought on the perimeter of Tobruk, crashed in the flaming wreckage of the fighting in New Guinea, lived with the damned in the place cursed with the name Janji. I was your mate, the kid across the street, the med student at graduation, the mechanic in the corner garage, the baker who brought you bread, the gardener who cut your lawn, the clerk who sent your phone bill. I was an army private, a naval commander, an air force bombarder, No man knows me, no name marks my tomb, for I am every Australian serviceman, I am the unknown soldier. I died for a cause I held just in the service of my land, that you and yours may say in freedom, I am proud to be Australian.
At the end of the ode, please observe a minute of silence.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning we will remember them, lest we forget. That concludes our ANZAC Day service. Thank you for listening. Please take the time to reflect on this day on Sunday, and we encourage you to purchase a badge from the front office to show your support for those who have served.